Hi, Queens, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Sexiest in the City podcast. I'm your host, Fatima Z. Wen. Let's jump right into this week's episode. No one's coming to save you, okay? And this is a harsh pill that I had to swallow. I was always under the impression that life was gonna go easy because off of how you see in the movies and the TV shows and this idea of what you think your 20s are gonna be like. So I remember when I was younger and I would watch so many shows as a teenager, and you watch these shows and you have this idea that your 20s are going to be exciting and fun and you're going to get to do and see all these places, but you don't think about the cost of everything and the fact that you are going to be paying for the cost. And you're not, a Nepo baby or born into so much fucking money that you could do whatever the fuck you want with no consequences. I thought when I grew up, I was gonna have all these things, like this big, nice apartment, and it's my own apartment and my own car and my own stuff. And I thought life was gonna come easy to me. And the older I got, I started to notice that other people had it, but I didn't. Honestly, it fucking sucked. It sucked ass. It made me feel depressed. It made me feel like life was unfair. Especially growing up, I always seen people with more money and more opportunity, or on another deeper, more emotional level, I felt like people had a more deeper connection with their mom, something that I didn't get to have. And I kind of felt a little bit envious of it in that relationship that I couldn't have because it was too toxic. And it's something like I've grieved, like this life I could have or I could have had, and I felt like life was unfair. You grow up, you don't have the fucking motherly love you fucking wish you did, and on top of that, my dad passed away when I was 14, and I didn't grow up in the fucking richest home. Like, we had what we had, but it wasn't like all crazy and shit. And so I had all these wounds in my life, like financial wound, my fear of failure. I just had so much envy and jealousy towards my peers. If I'm gonna be so honest with you, I felt like they got to live life on fucking easy mode, and I was just dealt these shit booty ass cards from the universe that I didn't fucking ask for. And it just felt so unfair, and that absolutely no fucking body understood what I was going through. I know that if you guys are listening to this, I'm sure you guys can relate to this feeling, because at the end of the day, it's a human emotion to feel that. Your inner child had all these dreams for yourself that you were gonna have this big princess life, and then you get older and you take off the rose-colored glasses and you realize that life is a lot harder than you thought it was gonna be. And that truth leaves a lot of people stuck. When people get to that part of life, they stay stuck in that because they sit in the misery, they sit in the sorrow, they sit in that this wasn't fair, nobody understands me, nobody gets it, and then they just start to have and adopt this victim mentality and this victim mindset. Instead of feeling like they're in control of their life, they feel like they're the victim of their life and everything is just happening to them and they have absolutely no control. And I know that we've seen these type of people, and they start to become miserable and low vibrational and negative, and you just feel like it's a heavy energy. At the end of the day, we only have one life, so we want to make the most out of the life. We want to enjoy our life. So in order to do that, you have to break your victim mentality. Like, that has to get the fuck out the window, because you are so much stronger than your current situation, and you're so much stronger than the things that you've been through. And when you can really understand that, you will realize that anything that gets thrown my way, I'm able to handle it. And most of all, I am in control of my life. It's nobody's responsibility to make me happy but me. That's what you have to do when you have a victim mentality. You have to actually accept nobody's fucking coming to save me. There's gonna be no helping hand, no partner that you might get. Even if it comes down to family, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's coming. So if you don't have the life that you want, the happiness that you want, the success that you want, don't think that somebody's just gonna one day magically decide that, oh, Fatima's unhappy, Fatima wants an apartment, Fatima wants a car, Fatima wants a career or financial abundance, Fatima wants all these things, let me make sure that she has it, or let me make sure that she's comfortable and smooth. That's not happening. That's not coming. That's delusionality. That is where the delusion hurts you, because you think that people owe you shit, and you think that because your life was unfair, because your life was hard, that some magic entity or somebody or some opportunity is going to just come and pop, poof, and everything's going to work out for you. I'm gonna be so honest with you. The sooner you realize this, the better your life is. Nobody's coming. Nobody's gonna help you. Nobody's on the way to get your ass. And really, nobody gives a fuck. Because here's the uncomfortable truth that I had to realize. You may think that nobody understands what the fuck I'm going through. And that mentality is what keeps you stuck. You have to realize you're never alone. Everybody goes through shit. Everybody has problems. Every fucking body on this earth has a set of obstacles that were put in their way that made something harder in their life that they don't like, that makes shit a little bit harder. Nobody is on this fucking earth, no matter how rich, poor, skinny, fat, no matter what the fuck you look like, none of that. Everybody has problems. Everybody hurts. Everybody has situations and things in their childhood and things that they've went through that is fucking traumatizing, and nobody sees that. Nobody wants to fucking, hey, introduce themselves and be like, hey, and then start trauma dumping. Most of the time, people run away from people that trauma dump. Nobody want to be around a miserable person. That's the honest truth. It makes people uncomfortable. Nobody wants to sit in that. And at the end of the day, can you blame them? Can you blame it? People want to look for the good and the happiness and the love that life has to offer, and not sit and soak in the misery and how this happened to me and that I can't change it. Because then when you sit in that mentality, it feels like you have no control, that you literally have to sit in this shithole that life is. I literally thought that it wasn't fair that I wasn't in shape, or that I didn't have financial help from my parents, or that I didn't have a fucking car sent down to me. I literally remember I didn't have a car to get to work and nobody was going to help me. So I walked from my job after work all the way to my house. It was like a 45-minute walk, because I realized nobody was going to come help me. If I wanted to go to the store and I didn't have a car, I would walk to the store, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back. I didn't give a fuck. I did it multiple times a day. When I was on those walks, I realized nobody gives a fuck. Like, nobody right now is thinking or feeling bad at the fact that I have to walk because I don't have the opportunity, or I didn't have the luxury of having somebody come and buy my car like some of my peers did, where I have to literally work and bust my ass to get what I have to get in life. Nobody really cares, and why the fuck should they? Because they have a list of their own fucking problems, and that's just the hard truth of life. But it frees you when you realize that nobody owes you shit, nobody gives a fuck, and nobody's coming to save you. My life is my own responsibility, and I am responsible for my own success and my own happiness and my own wins. And to me, that freaked me so much, because I didn't get the love I wanted. I didn't get the hand fucking being spoon-fed ass kid. I didn't have that life. But I still have myself, and I'm gonna fix my problems. If I have problems, I'm gonna get my problems fucking solved. I'm gonna figure that shit out. So if I don't have this, let's find a way. If I don't have a car, let's find a way to get a fucking car. You really are responsible of your own life, and it really is up to you to make it. And some people live blindlessly and think that one day you're going to get everything you want magically. It's not going to happen. There is no serendipity without hard work. If you want something in life, you get up, bust your ass, and you get that shit. You're not going to wake up and you're going to manifest a big house and a happy, or whatever the fuck your dream is. Because I know at the end of the day, not everybody wants a big house or shit. But that's me, queen. I want a big house. I want to be shaking on a yacht. You know what I'm saying? I want to be turned up. If you want to achieve your success, you have to realize your life is your responsibility, and nobody is going to come and help you get that, because nobody cares as bad as you do. For example, this podcast, I realized I talked about it for so many years, you guys. I've talked about this shit since I was 19 years old, about how I wanted to start a YouTube. I wanted to do something big. I wanted to create something and be an artist in something and pour out my heart into something that I love. And like, yes, people respected it and people fucked with the vision and people heard me out and we had deep conversations and shit, but it really hit me. Time was just passing and nobody kind of gave a fuck that the time was passing for me and that I wasn't actually setting goals and like slowly trying to achieve those goals. And so I actually had to sit down and let's actually make the podcast. Nobody's coming to make the podcast. Nobody's sitting here editing the videos, making me get up off my ass and film a video and start the video, because nobody cares about my goals, because when I don't have them, nobody cares about the sadness that I feel when I don't have them. And when I'm happy about them, nobody is really as happy as you are when you have what you want, because it is nobody's responsibility but your own. Yes, life is unfair. Let me validate that part of the video. Life is unfair, and you were dealt unfair cards, and it is so unfair that the universe didn't give you the opportunities that you wish you could have had as an inner child. Your inner child didn't deserve that. You deserved everything and more. But at the end of the day, we got to keep it moving, because we don't live in the past anymore. We don't live there anymore. So there's nothing to reach back there and grab. We are here in the present moment. So what can we do in the present? What actions can we take in the present that can help us in the future? There's no other option but to level up. There's no other way but up. If you're at the bottom, there's no other way but to go to the top. It's time to roll up the sleeves and get to motherfucking work, because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to put in the hard work. Nobody's coming to wake you up. Nobody's coming to push you. And even if you were to watch all these videos and all these motivational videos, motivation only takes you so far. I don't know if you guys can hear the music. So, that's my neighbor. Sorry, queens. Motivation can only take you so far. There comes to a point where it's like you could look at how to lose weight and at the gym preps and all these motivation videos that actually in the moment give you this high where you're like, wait, I'm pumped the fuck up. Like, I could run 60 miles right now. But at the end of the day, if you don't get up off your motherfucking ass, you're not gonna get it done. Because you are responsible for your goals. You are responsible for making your goals start to move in a direction that you would like to move into. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Yes, you went through shit situations and you're not Alabama Barker. You don't get shit paid for you and your dad's not married to a fucking Kardashian and you don't get all these luxury cars and you can literally shit all this money out because you didn't literally put blood, sweat, and tears into making generational wealth because it was handed to you. Yes, you weren't handed those. But at the end of the day, you need to get the fuck up and rise, queen, and make that shit happen for yourself. Literally force that shit into fruition. At the end of the day, these people don't deserve this shit more than you do. God didn't just say, hey, I just think that you're going to have a shit life and they're just going to have an amazing life and you're just going to sit there and you're going to watch them have this amazing life while you are in the shit and traumatized. And you're this victim. You are not a victim. You're a fucking queen, a goddess, and you can literally make anything come out of thin air because that is manifestation. This phone, this camera, this microphone, anything that you could think of. Literally the idea of YouTube, the idea of creating content. All of this was an idea that another human being that is no different than you, that bleeds the same blood as you do, that came out with the same level as intelligence as you did, made this shit happen. And these people have made billions of dollars. You go on YouTube and you see people have thousands of views, or you see people with big houses, or people that have lost a lot of weight and have their dream body, their dream cars, their dream apartment, their dream relationship. These things are abundant for everybody. It's not just like a certain selective few can have it. This is like anybody could get a piece of the pie. It's all about your mentality. And once you shift that mentality and realize I'm not a victim of my circumstances, I will survive in any situation. I come out the other end. I'm a fucking warrior of life. This shit is war. Like the actual, if you think about it, life is literally war. Like this shit is not a Disney Pixar movie. You gotta get the fuck up no matter what has happened to you and the scars that you carry in your heart. You still gotta get the fuck up and keep moving forward because you deserve it. Your future offsprings, they're depending on you. You are depending on you. When you're depressed and you don't want to move and your soul feels stuck and grounded, it's up to you to get yourself out of this shithole that you're in. People have their own shit that they have to get in order. So at the end of the day, yes, shit sucks. You don't have $1 billion to shit out and fuck around with, or you don't have the love from your family that you want or your loved one that you want. You feel like you're genuinely alone, no friends, no nothing, no shit. It's not fair. Unfair. That's like something in my head that I would feel so much. The feeling of unfair. I'm such like a... In my heart, the way I am, maybe it's because I'm a Libra moon, I'm really about justice. I don't like when the world is unfair. But at the end of the day, look at the fucking world. The world is unfair. People that are innocent starve and they die and they become a part of corrupt shit and government corrupt shit. It's fucked. The world is fucked. So to me, I have this sense of injustice and I want to fight against injustice. But at the end of the day, that fight is going to go a long motherfucking time. This world is evil and it's corrupt. And yes, we do live with good people, but we live with fucking horrible shit ass people. So this feeling of unfair, it's like, yes, life is unfair. Yes, there's all these excuses as to why you can't lose weight, get money, get rich, be happy. There's a million excuses, but none of that shit matters. All you need to focus on is what is important to you. And that is your goals, your dreams, and what you can accomplish today to make yourself happy today. That's all you can do. You should not be worrying about all these excuses. This is that. They don't benefit you. They don't matter. It's fucking a nonsense. It's noise. It really is important to maintain that mindset of like, I am strong and I can go through any situation and I'm going to come out the other side, and I'm always going to, anything that's hard or challenging for me, I can pivot and I can find another way and I can figure out what works for me. And if something fails, I pivot again and I figure it out because that's who I am and I'm strong. I'm a warrior of life. So I don't give a fuck what comes at me. The hate, the unfairity, none of it. I know that at the end of the day, I'm a strong person, so I'm going to overcome anything. And that's how you have to think, because then nobody can beat you. Not even your negative thoughts towards yourself because you are secure in who you are. I wrote down a list here of what you can control versus what you can't control. So what you can control is your beliefs, your mindset, and your attitude. So the way you believe about life, your mindset, like I was saying, like I can handle any challenges. It's about that mindset. So if you think that shit is unfair and that life owes you something, or that your problems is so hard that you physically can't do it because nobody understands and all this shit, it's about that mindset. You have to switch the mindset. As within, so without. What you think will manifest into that real world. So you want to always think abundantly, because even though you may go through losses, those losses lead you to abundance, to opportunity, to wins. Your routines and habits. When you wake up, stop mindlessly living. Actually create meaningful routines in the morning, when you go to sleep, in the afternoon, the type of shit that you eat, the workouts you do. Human beings are habitualistic creatures. We do shit out of habit, whether it's good, whether it's bad. We usually think the same shit every day. We do the same shit every day. And that's just how people end up living until they fucking kick the motherfucking bucket. That's how we are. We're animals. So people will usually wake up the same side. They will usually eat the same breakfast, have the same friends, have the same conversation, take the same road to work. Like they never switch shit up, because humans are creatures of habit. But when you understand that you can create habits that work for you, and y'all know it takes 30 days to break a habit and 30 days to get a new habit. So you have to really sit down and figure out, what are your goals? What are your dreams? Stop worrying about that bullshit. What do you want, and what can we do right now to start getting that life? What rituals? If you want to be a person that's in shape, what does that person do when they wake up? How does that person move their bodies? And just figure out what works for you. Attention and reactions. People are going to try to pick at you. They're going to try to neg at you. People are miserable. Misery loves company. Like I was telling you, people get stuck at the fact that they had this vision for their future and it didn't come true. And like kind of where you're at, where you're stuck and like, wait, this is not the life I envisioned with myself when we were watching Disney Channel. You see these people living that big life and you realize that like that was all in your imagination. That's not actually a reality, and you have to work for shit. So when people realize that, they become miserable people and they try to bring you down and they try to make you feel miserable with them, so then they know that like my life is not the only one that's shit too. It gives them some type of fucked up comfort that feels like, at least I'm not suffering alone. Like we all motherfucking suffering. When they think like that, they can't dream big. They're too limited in their beliefs. So if they're limited, they're not gonna uplift you because they can't uplift themselves. You can't react to shit. Like some shit is gonna try to bring you down, and some shit just simply is not worth it. People are just fucking loser. They part of the circus. You gotta let them go to the circus act. They literally beg to be a part of the circus act, and you cannot follow them into the circus. You gotta let them go. You know what I'm saying? They got a show at 8. You have to let these people be miserable in their own shit asshole. At the end of the day, you'll either join them in the shithole part of the circus, or you're gonna rise above it and realize that you are in control of your life. So any dream, manifestation, anything that you want, you have the strength in your heart to make that shit happen. No matter what challenges that you've had or what challenges that you may face in the future, you are responsible for it. It's up to you. Last but not least, what you're in control of is your boundaries and self-talk. You can't let people come and talk down to you and make you feel like you're low about yourself. You have to have boundaries. When people don't have boundaries, they're not going to respect your boundaries, and they're not going to understand why you have boundaries. Boundaries are not to control people, they're to control and to keep yourself safe. You don't fuck with the way someone's talking to you. You don't fuck with the way people, a certain friend group is treating you. Maybe like, you know what, I'm not fucking with that shit, and I'm done making excuses for piece of dog ass shit people. And then you could do that. You could set those boundaries and say, this is the type of respect I want from people and the type of respect I have for myself, and I'm gonna have those boundaries. I'm gonna have those standards. Never lower your standards for people in the motherfucking circus, because they in the circus. They don't got no standards. Their standards is low. It's bottom of the barrel trash. Let them be in the circus. Rise above that bullshit and take control of your life, take control of the wheel, and start actually putting in the action. So these are the things that you cannot control. So you cannot control the past and the future. You can't control people's behaviors and beliefs. You can't control people's opinions and their words. And you can't control natural disaster and uncertainty. Sometimes I worry, I have all these intrusive thoughts about shit going wrong, and like the most intrusive thoughts you could think of. And I'm like, well, fuck, what if that happens? Or what if this person says this to me? Or what if I get rejected? Or like, what if all this shit happens? At the end of the day, it genuinely might happen. Even my therapist told me, like, that shit might, there's a possibility bad can happen to people. That is just how life is. You can't be too hard on yourself and be trying to control it. Like, I can't control life. You can't control life. Let's just take a deep breath. It is what it is. All you can control is the thoughts that you tell yourself. And you want to make sure that you're always affirming yourself. And if you have a negative thought, challenge the negative thought and be like, you know what? I might not have money right now, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to have money in the future, or that I can't find a way to a stream of income or multiple streams of income and work my way. Or if you feel like you're unintelligent, you can always just read more books and actually dive into learning. There's always a solution to your problems. People will come up with 10 excuses before they come up with even one good solution. It's all about that mentality and about controlling what you can control. For the longest time, I just felt like it's not fair. Why couldn't I go on the summer trips every motherfucking year, or like twice a motherfucking year, and have my parents buy me a brand new fucking car? Or that I'm not living this like privileged life. I lost friends. I've seen piece of shit friends. I went through the most embarrassing, traumatic shit ever that I never thought would happen to me, but unfortunately it did. And I had to sit with that and had to be uncomfortable with it. Even sometimes with like OCD, I just be thinking like, oh my God, why does my brain have to be like this? Like, what the fuck? It's not fair. And I'm like sitting here and comparing myself and going down the rabbit hole of self-doubt and negativity. But I found that like yes, as a Pisces, I feel like our negative trait is that we can't have a victim complex. Like, honestly, I'm self-aware to admit it, okay? Sometimes I feel like I love that victim complex. I love to be like just soak in my misery, because like in a way I find validation in it. I find comfort in the fact that I can't change anything. So if shit fucks up, it's not my fault. But like when you get older, you start to realize like, wait, Queen, I think it is your fault. Like if you're not eating healthy every day and you're not prioritizing your health, and then you look in the mirror and you fucking hate your body and you hate the way you look, and then you find out you push into diabetes, you push into cholesterol, you want to wake up one day and your bones hurting, you got arthritis, you fucking looking ugly, you feeling ugly. It's because you didn't give a fuck about yourself and you didn't actually realize, wait, I'm actually more powerful than I know. It's all about power too. A lot of people walk around this earth feeling powerless. And so they give their power up to all these other circumstances and to people and to situations, and they give up all power. And they don't even give life a try. You can get anything you want. If people understood how much power they really had, they wouldn't bullshit their dreams. They would go 100% every single day, because they know that this shit is not impossible. The people that have the dreams that you want or the things that you want, they don't have it because they're better than you or they deserve it. They have it because they feel like they deserve it. And that's all it comes down to. If you were a little kid and you thought you were going to have this nice apartment and you were going to feel comfortable, because to me, it all comes down to stability and feeling comfortable in my home. I want to have a car. I want to have a home. I want to have a career that I love. I want to feel good in my body, and I want to look good, smell good, and just radiate confidence and be magnetic to people and inspire people to do the same thing with themselves. And I want that. And so I can't sit and think, fuck, I don't have that. I gotta sit and think, how the fuck can I get that? What can I do to get that? Like, what we gonna do? Let's sit down and figure out the game plan. I am strong, and because of all the things that I've went through, I've shown like I'm strong, and that's point blank period on that. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Yes, you went through shit in your childhood and it wasn't fair, and yes, even currently you're going through shit. Life is about seasons, and so you could be in a season of your life right now where you're around toxic people and it's unfair, and you feel like you deserve so much better than this, and your nervous system deserves so much better than this. You deserve to feel comfortable in your body. You deserve to feel comfortable in your environment, in your space. You deserve that. You deserve to feel at ease, not in survival, worrying, constantly on edge, feeling like when's the next ball gonna drop, and feeling like you're walking on eggshells with life. You deserve to have a nervous system that's calm and at peace. You deserve it. And so if you're at a point in life where you feel like it's not fair because you don't have it right now, remember, this is not permanent. It's up to you. How can we get it? It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be shit. But you need to know that somebody was once in your shoes and they got out of it. There's 8 billion people on this planet. I promise you. You ever go online and there's like the most niche specific meme, and somebody's like, damn, like, can I not have one personal experience? I seen this one post on Instagram. It was like my 10th grade sophomore class or whatever. And you guys, I swear to God, this is how my classroom looked like. This was my classroom to a T. And on top of that, I did get character development from my fucking sophomore chemistry class. So like the fact that it was so niche specific. And if you guys are on the podcast and Spotify app, I put the little screenshot right here on the YouTube screen if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it was just a screen of like a regular high school classroom, and it literally looked exactly like my classroom, and it said, the caption was, character development was built here. If you're going through something hard, best believe there's about 1 million to 2 million other people going through the exact same shit. You are strong. If you're sitting here and you're watching self-improvement videos and videos to better your life, you're strong. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people don't give a fuck about self-improvement, about self-help, about better. They don't care. All they care about is going to the bars every fucking week and getting fucked up drunk and trying to get validation from people that don't give a fuck about them, because they have this void in their heart that they cannot fill, because they cannot realize they're in control of their life. So they're in control of their own happiness, and they're still stuck in that. But if you are diving your mind into knowledge, you're watching these type of videos like what you're watching right now, and you constantly see that you're trying to improve, you're already ahead than most of people. Because I'm telling you, the fact that you care is already showing so much. A lot of people don't even get to the point where they give a fuck to even try. Give yourself credit too. Give yourself fucking grace. Give yourself kindness. Especially for the baddies that are too hard on themselves. I'm gonna tell you here, the fact that you're even trying right now, you're already headed towards the right path. Now it's about mentality. It's about keeping that consistency and that repetition and doing it again and just continuously showing up for yourself, even when life can feel a little bit hard. I'm gonna end off this video with some affirmations that I wrote down. I choose strength over fear every day. I trust my inner wisdom to guide me. I adapt and thrive in challenging situations. I release the need to control outcomes. I transform my pain into power and resilience. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. When I set my mind on something, I won't stop until I reach it. I can achieve everything I want. If you guys are on the YouTube app, please subscribe, like, and share. And if you guys are on Apple and Spotify, please give this a 5-star rating and follow my queens. I do post a podcast episode every single Thursday. I love you guys so much. Peace and love. Bye, queens.